Good evening, friends from the supporting community. Good evening, respected gentlemen of the media. So today, the intention is to present to you the mandate and changes that I hope to make if elected as the president of the Olympic Committee. I'm sorry that some are on the way, but we can't keep you waiting any longer, so we will start. The leadership behind the mandate. So this is my profile, which was given to you already. And let's go on to the, okay. To unite the division and differences among all associations, uphold Olympic values and principles of Olympism, strengthen collaboration with Ministry of Sports and Government of Sri Lanka, make the nation's goal its recognition and its position on the international arena a top priority. So what we are trying to create here is at the same time an athlete-centric Olympic Association of Sri Lanka. To deliver programs to strengthen athlete and coach capability, resolve Olympic house ownership and land demarcation issues. So we have some issues here which have to be which have been dragging along, which we need to clear up and also clear the absolute ownership of the land of the Olympic Committee. The improved Olympic House facilities and standards. As you can see, the Olympic House standards and facilities have to be more friendly towards receiving the athletes, and also for an athlete to come over to the Olympic House and interact, or to for their submissions and so on. So this has to be made in such a friendly manner so that they have access, easy access to the Olympic House, which is their pinnacle body. Work cooperatively with Ministry of Sports and Governance of Sri Lanka. Now, as you know, the Olympic movement in Sri Lanka is the interface between any major game that happens in the world and the Sri Lanka Olympic Associations as well as the ministry. So now this, in order to have absolute coordination between these two and synergy, it is important to have a close association with the government and to coordinate the smooth flow of the teams from Sri Lanka for these events, as much as preparing them for what they are supposed to go and represent. After all, they are going to be ambassadors of the country when they go out of the country. Work cooperatively with Ministry of Sports and Governance of Sri Lanka, restore confidence in the National Olympic Committee as an institution of integrity. As you know, we need to, grow the Olympic Committee and to establish it as an integral institution so that the business world as well as the public, their confidence in this pinnacle institution will grow, and thereby they will all migrate towards supporting the efforts of the association. So, build to deliver and build to unite. Okay, now on all these points that we have brought in here, I have also got a printed document for you where I have elaborated more on the individual points that we have brought into the mandate. So, as you can see, even today, among the associations, there is so much differences, and we are all fragmented as groups. So, one thing that we will have to do in the future is resolve these little differences. Sometimes they are very small differences, and bring the associations together towards focusing on a single national goal for the country. So this is one of the main things that are elaborated in our mandate, which you will have a copy as well. Then the after all the Olympic values and principle of Olympism, if a world can come together with bringing 5 continents together into one collective place to participate in sport, we can easily do it among our 30 or so associations that we have locally. Then the Ministry of Sports, as I told you, the nation's goal recognition, the position of international arena a top priority. And the transparent governance. Now, one thing we have here is, if you ask any of the associations, hardly any association knows of how the internal governance works in the Olympic Association, in the National Olympic Committee. So this, basically the transparency of governance will, where we will have a quarterly meeting for all the associations, where we will display, the one thing is an account where they can read up and see, as well as the funds that we get from the AOC or the IOC, and how it's being used within the Olympic Committee and why it was deployed for certain matters. So this, the affiliated associations will have a quarterly review of this by coming together, and the governing committee of the Olympic Association will present this to the association, so they have absolute clarity and transparency of how the Olympic Committee is governed. Then also to create an open book funding system for all Olympic associations. This is where, now what we see is either something being dispersed to some association, but the other associations will not know how this is done. But we will have a transparent system where all associations will know why the funds were dispersed to this particular athlete or association, and also based on a ranking system or based on how close they are to the collective national goal, so that they will be all able to endorse that, right, in unison. So it will be a united effort. Publish and transfer meditation. Yeah. So the eligibility system. Now, it's very important to have a criteria. Now, what we have is in disbursement of the funds too, we do not have a criteria. So we create a criteria. This is the criteria, and based on this, we will consider. So once the associations know that, they will work towards a goal to achieve that criteria in order to be either funded or supported by the National Olympic Association. The protection for athletes, I think we are doing a lot already. So, but this has to be further strengthened, not only for the ladies or women in sport, but also for the young men also in sport, for everybody. So this is where we basically the gender equity committee has been put in place, but at the same time, what we have not developed for our athletes is, a code of a disciplinary code, and what is the training that we are giving them, when they go overseas, their responsibilities, a workshop for them, and how they should conduct themselves, and what are the boundaries that they, the boundaries that they should not cross. All this should be educated. The athletes and the coaches have to be educated on how this protection has to work for the athletes. Yeah. So the programs that will strengthen the athletes and coach relationships and capability. So if we know, there are coaches, but have these coaches run through? Have they gone through a Olympic curriculum to say what their primary duties and how far they go? Because sometimes the athlete does not look at the coach as only a trainer, but looks as coach as his life's coach. When it comes to other areas of financial problems and other things, family problems that they have, all these things, the fatherly figure or motherly figure becomes the coach. So the coach need to be trained in order to how to address this and to bring the mental capability also up of the athlete. So this we will also focus a lot on this area. So I told you about the land demarcation and the facilities of the Olympic House, the importance of cooperation with the ministry, and restore confidence in the National Olympic Committee. So, if you look at Olympic committees of other countries, the immense funding that they get from their corporate world and the publics, the publics today, are they feeling the emotion of winning a medal? Are they feeling an emotion? Are they a part of it? So we have to create this among the public by promoting the Olympic Association and also getting the publics involved in certain things. Now, for example, certain sports, they need funding. But have we ever thought of things like crowdfunding? Those are new things that we can bring in to involve the publics of Sri Lanka, where they will also like to be a part of that achievement in the future. So this is my mandate, and these are some of the things that we are going to work on the next few years. So let's hope that we get the opportunity to work with this, and I call upon all associations to join hands with us and work towards this common goal. Thank you. May may I invite all of you? I think our other colleagues will join in a little while, but meanwhile we will not wait for them. But please join us for fellowship as well as dinner. Thank you.